it going, everybody? This is Travis here at the Quiet Minds Podcast. Hope everybody is doing great. We are here to talk about why we've been absent for the last 3 months. One of the reasons was me and the family went on vacation. We went on a very nice French vacation. We started out in Paris. We went to Normandy, went to go see some of the things that Omaha Beach has presented us. We went to Mont Saint Michel. We went to Disneyland Paris. We stayed out in a place called Bayou, which was really nice. There was a lot of driving on my end that I was not prepared for, but it's okay because, hey, need a little vacation once in a while to reset yourself. Right? We are here to talk about what's gone on over the last 3 months. Well, there's been a few things that has happened. One, a lot of work has been very strenuous, stressful. Everyday life gets to. I started putting more focus in my streaming time, and I shouldn't have. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, we're back here, we're circling back around. And if it wasn't for a specific somebody to continuously push me to be like, hey, where's the podcast at? Hey, where's the podcast at? I wouldn't be here right now. I will say that we are moving from a weekly, we are going to remove the weekly format and actually go to a month-to-month format, where what that means is it's going to be, we record one day, and it's going to take us about a month to actually go through the edits to make sure it's actually right. We do like raw format, guaranteed. But at the end of the day, even raw format needs to be edited time to time. We're going to be working on how we talk, so that way we can cut out all the ums, buts, ands, and the pauses. Just so that way we can give you a better formatted podcast. But let's dive right into it. Mental health. What does that really mean? What happens with it? What goes on? In recent news, we have heard that unfortunately somebody, once again, another celebrity type, has gone through a complete mental crisis. Unfortunately, this person was on a live stream and self-harming. It is sad. It's unfortunate. It doesn't matter who you are. It's one of those things that if you are in a crisis and you don't have the resources, nobody can get you the resources. It becomes a downward spiral. Unfortunately for this person, they are still in the hospital. Hopefully they can have a speedy recovery and they can get themselves aligned with the right mental health professionals. So that way they can continue on their progress for a better recovery for themselves mentally and physically. For us here, we have been facing, I'm not going to say from them, we've been facing our own crises. We go through it just like everybody else. There's some more people are prone to it than others, but more people that are not aware that they're going through another crisis are the ones that sit there and say, I don't have a problem. I have a problem. I spiral. And I know I spiral. And that's okay. It is one of those things that does happen. We're not going to shy from it. We are not going to say, nah, it's fine. We're perfectly good. We're not going to sit here and discuss what outcomes could be when we can just sit there and say, these are the outcomes that can be, as long as we talk about it. As of lately, I have been talking about my issues with my wife, and I've been sitting there, and oddly enough, I'm having a lot better confidence within myself mentally than I was before. Having the open conversation with somebody, especially your partner, is something that's going to be beneficial to you. It'll be beneficial to your partner because they know at that point, they're going to know how to help you, when to help you, and what your triggers may or may not be. For me right now, my triggers are people talking about work, them getting a new job, them getting promoted, them, hey, I'm leaving one job for another. But those are my triggers. Those are my triggers right now because unfortunately, I've just recently lost my job. And we've been working on 2 years of trying to get a new job. But unfortunately, after 2 years and a very hard grind, there's still nothing. So yes, I do have a little bit of triggers. It does get me into a mindset of, damn, this really sucks. I can't believe this is going on. Like, why am I not getting hired? Why am I not getting into an interview process? We are at over 492 applications. And guess what? One interview. One real interview in 2 years. Did I get the job? No, but it's fine because I still had an interview. I had a great interview. Did I think I nailed the interview and did I think I got the job? Absolutely. But that was my problem. I was too confident within myself to be like, yeah, I got the job. Yeah, I got the job. Nah, that's the problem. I didn't get the job. I was too confident. And that's fine. Being overconfident is great. Being too confident can hurt you. And it can mess with your mind a little bit. Because again, I thought I was great for this job. I was answering all the right questions. I was talking about where I was mentally in the retail game. I was talking about how I wanted to continue my career growth, especially at a company that completely is evolving from what they used to be. And that's fine. Where it starts to really mess with you mentally, application after application after application after application, rejection, followed by rejection, followed by rejection, not even getting to an interview process over 400 times. And it starts affecting you, starts affecting your brain, starts affecting your moods, starts affecting how you communicate with people, how you decide what comes next, how you, in theory, how you move forward. Because you think, how can I move forward from this? How can I continue applying for places when I'm just getting rejected? Well, the grind is real. That's how. Just like a video game, you got to grind to get it. You got to grind. Got to grind to finish it. Got to grind to continue playing it. Got to grind to feel alive. Grinding application after application doesn't stop you from continuing in life. Does it suck because you're getting rejected? Abso-fucking-lutely. And then you're like, man, what else can go wrong? What else can happen? What else can we do? Where can I go? And then you're looking at the possibilities. Maybe it's time to move. Maybe it's time to get out of this place. Maybe it's time. But we don't know. We don't have that opportunity yet because we're not thinking about it. We're continuously like, got to get the job, got to get the job, got to get the job, got to get the fucking job. And we're not taking time for peace. We're not taking time to relax. We're not taking time to understand what's really going on in your head. Taking the break and taking the time. We're going to use that word a lot today. Time. We're going to use the time to really reflect on yourself. Reflect what you can do. Reflect on how to change things. Because once you're ever growing with time, you are in control. Time is no longer in control. You are. Because you just have to reflect on it. Oddly enough, I have found a new way to kind of reset my brain. I, unfortunately, I am diagnosed AUHD. Yeah, I think maybe. I could be wrong in the paraphrasing. But I was diagnosed with on the autism spectrum disorder along with ADD, ADHD. So my brain goes haywire when it comes to certain things. And I was on a particular platform and was watching a video. And all of a sudden, I'm hearing a ping pong in my ears. My eyes are moving back and forth. And all of a sudden, everything that was going on inside my head disappeared for 4 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck was that? What was that? Like, what the hell happened there? And so I started looking it up a little bit more. And apparently, 8D audio, which is I can't remember the right paraphrasing for it, but it's a neurotransmit frequency that essentially ping pongs the sound from ear to ear without losing the rhythm or the song. And one particular song has allowed me to kind of reset. I take time before my streams every day at this point. I take time to decompress using two very, very different songs with similar attributes. Of course, Metallica, Nothing Else Matters, because hearing that in a 8-dimensional audio wave, holy shit, clears the mind. And then the other song is Old Cassettes, which is the ping pong motion. And because it's a fast-paced song, it's not a slow-paced song like Nothing Else Matters. It allows me to free my mind from becoming. It allows me to free my mind from being in that mindset of, why am I continuing streaming? Why do I continue this? Why do I continue? Like, it quiets the mind so well. It allows me to stream without problems. And I wish I would have had this well before, because it's just a complete holy shit. It allows your mind to be free with time. It quiets the voices if you have them. Me, I have them. Are they telling me what to do? No. They're the voices that speak are the negativity that I hear about myself. For instance, I have a form of body dysmorphia. And that is because I have had a section of my brain removed. And every day I see an indentation in my skull. I see it. Not everybody sees it, but I see it. So I go through this whole, I think I'm ugly. My face is distorted because of this issue. And it's not me physically telling myself this. This is my mind going through this rigmarole of bullshit of I am no good. But as soon as I start playing one of those two songs, those thoughts quiet the fuck down. They sit down because it allows me to have time to reflect on where I'm at. It allows me to have a little bit of time to myself without hearing the negativity within myself. And it gives me time to be positive. And I love that, because who doesn't want to be positive when they're not hearing the thoughts of negativity within yourself? So it's one of those things I'm going to start trying to get involved with a little bit more. I want to bring it to the podcast, but I got to find the right channels to do so. And if we can, I want to try to get some people. Can't guarantee it. I would love to get some people on here who are inspired in music, that the music calms them down. I would love to get a few people on here. There's a couple of people I'm really wanting to get a hold of, and I know it's going to take time. Unfortunately, some of these people cost money, but we're going to reach out. We're going to say, hey, we're a new podcast. We are trying to bring about awareness for mental health. What do you say? We don't have the money, but what do you say? Because maybe they'll offer us just a little bit of their time. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Fuck, give me an hour. But 5 minutes, I'll take a 5-minute conversation with somebody that's in the music industry to be like, hey, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. How do you handle your mental health while doing this? What gives you that peace of mind? What quiets your mind? And that's the one thing that I would really love for this podcast to do, is to talk about the mental health within all industries: sports, music, movies, radio, but comedy. I would love to get a few comics on here to talk about mental health and to advertise to their, following, that sometimes mental health is needed. You need to take that break, and you need to have that time to allow yourself to decompress. Because if you don't have that time to decompress, what are you doing? You're just building it and building it and building it and building it, to the point where you're at a breaking point and time just blows up. But it's okay, because if we look at it and continue to break down that stigmatism, we can have a better understanding about time for ourselves and time for reality. When we're going through these steps, what part of time does your brain allow you to be quiet? That's my question for you, viewers. When does your brain allow you time for silence? What is silence meaning for you? For me, silence is being in this room, lights super down low, not even this color, not even a bright light, doing like a deep purple, and listening to 8D audio and just meditating for a moment. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long it takes to allow my brain to rest and reset, to give it time to move forward. Because without having the time to move forward, what are we really doing with this conversation? We're not having the conversation because it's time, right? It's time to have the conversation within ourselves. It's time to have the conversation with our buddies. It's time to have the conversation with our neighbor. Even if you don't like them, if you notice that they're off one day, hey, we good? Everything all right? Oh, we're here to talk. So what you got to look at. That's how we got to look at it, right? It's time. Now, for time with us, our absence has been because focus is elsewhere. The main focus has been work, stream, work, stream. So I've lost focus on this podcast. But that's all changing. We have a schedule again. We're going through the schedule. We're making the schedule vibrant. We're making the schedule the way it needs to be. We're going to spend time editing. We're going to spend time with the family. We're going to spend time streaming. And soon, if I can get things to work correctly, we will also be hosting a live stream podcast on Twitch. I would love for us to be on Twitch a little bit because that also brings in new viewers. It brings in new people that most this only gets to a handful of people, the people that follow, like you guys, which we appreciate. But we want to branch more. We want to give more people insight about mental health and why it's so important. Not only men's mental health, but mental health in general. I'm going to be having a lineup of a few people within the next couple of weeks that I'm going to try to get in here. And we're going to try to get some recordings done. We'll see what we can do. But there is a list of people that I would love to bring into the podcast and get their opinions of how they're doing with life, with their job, with their kids, their significant other if they have one. We're going to branch into a different dimension with where we're at. We're going to bring in a new light of people that allows us to open our eyes to be like, fuck, we're not the only ones anymore. Because that's our biggest misconception. I'm the only one that's going through this. I'm the only one that's going through that. No, you're not. No, you're not. There's a lot of people out there that are going through the same shit. You just don't realize it because they don't talk about it. And that's fine because we don't have to talk about it, but we should talk about it because it should allow us to be more comfortable within ourselves to have the open conversations. Without the open conversations, what are we doing? We're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs and being, everything's fine. It'll work out. It'll be fine. Yes, it'll be fine. 100%. It'll be good. We're doing it. Got it. Yes. All right. But at the end of the day, that's not it. Not it at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this from that weekly podcast that we had talked about, and we're going to spread it out into a monthly podcast. That way we have a little bit of time. We have time to go ahead and record hopefully 1 or 2 episodes. If we can record 2 episodes in a month, beautiful. We may release it. We don't know yet. We're still going through this new format. I am scheduling certain things at certain times. That way we can continue having a better progress. And that way we can actually have episodes come out and we're not 3 months, 6 months, 8 months behind. Because at the end of the day, I started this for a reason. I started this because of the mental health, and I've allowed my mental health to keep me from doing it. And I love this. I love being a host. I love talking about mental health. I love talking to the people who definitely need it. And I definitely love talking to people and hearing their different stories. Because at the end of the day, sometimes just because it's not my story doesn't mean I can't reflect to that person. Because sometimes that other person may have a similar story, may be going through the same similarities, could be different, but it could be the same. Just like that old saying goes on, I believe it's The Interview. Same, but different, but still same. That's what we have to look at mental health wise. That's what we have to look at it because not everybody's going to be the same, but we're still going through the same difficulties of the mental health aspect. So we may not be having the same issue theory, but we're having the same mental crisis that we're seeing. For me, my mental crisis right now, I'm looking for a job. That's it. But I know other people are going through the same similarities and other people are going through the same failures or rejections. So I have to continue being positive and be like, hey, yeah, we're going to get a job. We're going to get one. We're going to get one. We're going to get one. Just grind, 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 grind. Because without grinding for those jobs, you just fall into despair. You fall into the chaotic mindset of your mental. This was not meant to be a long episode today. This was meant to be a short and sweet episode. Get to the point. This is what's going on. This is what we're planning on doing. So I just want to thank all of you for all the continued support, even when we're off air, because without that support, we wouldn't be here today. And I want you to remember, we are the quiet minds. We are the ones that need to speak up more, because without speaking up, we let the stigmatism continue. We want to break the stigmatism of mental health. It is not a big problem. It is a big problem, but it's not a big problem. It's not a problem that we have to hide. It's not a problem we have to bury within ourselves. We just need to speak, because we are the ones that suffer the most when we are quiet, and we suffer in silence. Suffering in silence is far times greater than suffering with noise and explaining, I need help. Whether it's from your spouse, whether it's from your family, it doesn't matter. As long as we're speaking up and saying, hey, I'm having a problem. I need some help. I need to talk. I need to do something to talk what's going on in my mind, to talk out my feelings. Some people can't talk out their feelings, and that's fine. But at the same time, we need to have the open conversation that people are willing to listen. Because if we're not willing to listen, we're going to continue staying silent. We cannot judge how somebody feels. Because if you're judging how they feel, why are you even talking to them? Because all you're going to do is you're going to hurt them more, and they're going to suffer more in silence because you're judging them for how they're feeling. Everybody can feel what they need to feel. Everybody can feel how they want to feel. Everybody suffers differently. But when it comes to mental health, most people suffer in silence. And the silence is what's the loudest. Even in a full room full of loud people, the silence will cut through like butter. Because the silence is the worst part about it. Suffering in silence is worse than being vocal about it, because it will show who suffers the worst. Let's continue to have these conversations with everybody. Let's continue to be open. Let's continue to push for a new day. Let's continue to have a great day. Let's continue to silence the voices. That's the silence that we need. To silence the voices of negativity in our own minds. I hope everybody has a great day. We are going to be back. We're going to be stronger. We're going to continue. We're going to fight. And we're going to continue this podcast if it's the last thing that we do. We are going to be here. We're going to be on a schedule. We are going to do this together. Everybody, I hope you have a great day. I hope today brings you joy. I hope today brings you laughter. I hope that if you are suffering in silence, that this little bit of information, this little podcast, gives you a brighter outlook. If not, hopefully we've given you some tools to self-soothe, not self-medicate, because let's not do that. That's a bad thing. That's how things get crazy. But to self-soothe, listen to music, quiet, give yourself quiet time. quiet time is just listening to music. Low light, meditation, just continued growth. Everybody, my name is Travis. This is the Quiet Minds Podcast, and I want you guys to know we will support you no matter what.